wrong.
I didn't get to meet you personally, but the other SG who showed up last time got to meet you, and I remember you also, Susie. So, and then I've heard a lot about you, Samantha Clark. I hear the SG of This Earth has met you, and a lot of has a lot of great things to say about you. And
he has, yeah. Else. He's pretty cool. Are you as cool as he is?
Or what?
Are you as cool as he is?
Well, I try. Well, the thing is, I'm from an Earth that's far advanced from this one, so concepts like cool and not cool, we've kind of gotten beyond that.
Oh.
So, but yeah, I'm from an advanced Earth, and the SG of This Earth couldn't make it, so he wanted me to come in. We've both written on our separate Earths, Me versus the Multiverse, and its sequel, which, even though I'm from an advanced Earth, I could only print it out. I didn't have an advanced reader copy, and I don't have the best color printer either. So, I have other things to worry about. Anyway, the sequel is Enough About Me. This one came out in August from Random House, and this is coming out next August. So, yeah, I'm basically the SG of This Earth, I think, wrote it. It took him maybe, because as I say, we're very advanced. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but anyway, it's about a boy who goes to a convention for his duplicates from, kind of like Spider-Man Multiverse, that whole concept. I mean, it's real, as I'm proof of. And basically, he's not the most popular kid, and he's going through a lot of identity type of issues. So he meets all these different versions of himself and kind of gets even more problems. He thinks he's going to get a lot of great, tips or ideas about, ways he could live his life. But instead, he winds up kind of like the least popular kid among this group of his duplicates, But then it turns out that, just the main character is Mead Macon, and versions of himself. Military school me. This is Hollywood me, who's sort of like a child actor version, of himself. Disco me from a planet where they're still kind of stuck in the 70s, which, I mean, we did the 70s, is like the Roman times for you guys, so we're very advanced. This is Mobster me, who's kind of like from a, mobster Earth. Ren Fair me, who's from a medieval Earth. Steampunk me. We never really had a steampunk period on my Earth, but I know there's Troll me is a bit of a bully, And this is some people from actually the sequel. This is President me. He's actually from an Earth where kids can be president, if they want to. This is post-apocalyptic me, and I'm almost done. This is caveman me, and then meticulous me is who I was trying to get at. He's the one who runs MeCon, this convention they go to. And he turns out to maybe have some not so savory plans. And so the Mead, the main character, realizes he has to stop him. And he gathers up some other versions of himself who aren't so popular either, and they kind of team up to try to stop him. So, and in the sequel, there's more complications and more problems with the multiverse. But that's basically the general premise, I was gonna mention that, I guess I already mentioned that, yeah, this next one will be out in August. And I guess that's about it. What was I gonna mention? One thing I wanted to mention was that though I'm in Advanced Earth, we still use the Dewey Decimal System. And we've moved beyond library card catalogs, but I happen to have this antique here. So I thought, it might be interesting, since I'm at this library convention, to mention that. It comes in handy for, even though, we don't use the cards anymore, I have various things like, batteries, which we still use. They're still very useful in the future. And, of course, paint never goes out of style. So anyway, I thought that you might find that interesting. Anyway, so let's see. Oh yeah, well, I guess one other thing, maybe in the chat, I should mention my email and Twitter and the like, because if anybody's interested, through transdimensional mail, I could get a copy of, this is sort of a travel guide to the multiverse that I've gotten together, and I could send it to you for free, plus a postcard. You know, just kind of swag is popular on all Earths. Let me, you know, believe me. So this is kind of like a little guide to the multiverse. It talks about all the different me's in the books, and you know, little like things about the Earth, like you know, this is Mobster Me, and this is Mount Mobster. You know, on his, instead of Mount Rushmore, they have Mount Mobster. So these are some of the things that are mentioned in the book. But through we were able to go out to these Earths, get some pictures, and you know, put them in this thing. So this is Ren Fermi's Earth, where there's like the Bachelor with King Henry VIII. You know, and so and you know, little things like that. So so I'd be happy to mail it to you if you want to get in touch with me. I'll put my contact info in the chat. So oh, and then one little last thing was that I've been participating with some other authors of science fiction. For me, this is not science fiction. I mean, it's a reality. But basically, and this is a horrible printout, I'm sorry, but just kind of doing like a giveaway. It's on Twitter, so I can leave my Twitter information, and you could, you know, it's like 7 books, and you can kind of enter, and you can have a chance to win one of them. It's me and some of these other great books, which you know, I can maybe list out in the chat or something. So yeah. But anyway, I suppose that's about it. You know, I would say that the multiverse is kind of an idea that's been getting, you know, maybe more attention lately. I've always seen it as kind of like a subgenre of science fiction, of its own kind of, you know, it kind of stands up on its own as a type of story. You know, I mean, when you go back, if you think about it, there's even It's a Wonderful Life is kind of an alternate Earth multiverse story in a way, because he sees how this other version of Bedford Falls will turn out. For me, I was just kind of interested in it from the get-go, because it comes up in comic books a lot. And I would read issues of the Justice League where they would meet up with this alternate version of themselves, like from another Earth, where they were all a little bit older. And so like Superman would be hanging out with a Superman who was like 20 years older than him, and he'd already married Lois Lane, and they, you know, talk about relationships and stuff. They mainly go fight villains, but for a few pages, they'd sit there talking about their problems with each other, you know, and that was like the most interesting part for me. So that's why I wanted to write Me vs. the Multiverse, because I love the idea of a convention where kids could get together and talk about their trade notes and that kind of thing. So, and almost reluctantly, I realized I needed more of a plot than that. So, you know, but anyway, let's see. I guess that's about it. It is a little challenging. I will say that it's a little challenging to write about the multiverse, because, you know, you can kind of go in any direction. So the biggest challenge I had was kind of just reining it all in. But I tried to make it, you know, funny, which is challenging also for middle grade in some ways. But I got a good response. So I think both from, you know, from kids of all, boys and girls and all that stuff. So I'd like to think the humor is kind of universal. So yeah, but anyway, I suppose that's about it. I don't want to just talk the whole time. I don't know if there are any questions or anything. So
Advanced Future SG, can you tell us more about the second book? What the story is in the second book?
I've kind of like been in a mode where I don't want to give too much away, but it's, you know, basically the interesting thing about the second book that was really fun for me was that, okay, in the first book, it's probably no surprise that they kind of like defeat the, you know, meticulous me, the bad guy, but he's still around, and he's also the only one who really knows. He kind of basically kind of created this means that they have for traveling the multiverse, and he's the only one who knows how it all works. So they kind of have to go back to him and get his help. So it was really fun for me to write, because it's kind of a buddy, like a buddy comedy in a way, you know, like the main character, me and Meticulous, have to kind of team up for much of the book. and they hate each other. So it was really fun to write. Plot-wise, basically, there's this kind of rip in the multiverse, and they have to kind of patch it up. And it's kind of their fault. It's been expanding, so different elements from all these different Earths are popping up all over the place. You know, like on our Earth, some strange prehistoric beast starts running around at the main character's school, you know, and this popped up from some other Earth. You know, so the worlds are kind of blending together. So they're trying to stop that. So there's also a little bit, it kind of goes beyond science fiction in a way, because there's a little bit of magic in it. Because I kind of was thinking, you know, and in my experience, having been from an advanced Earth, I've seen magic on other Earths as well. You know, it's not just all science fiction. And some worlds don't operate on science, some on magic. You know, as crazy as that may sound. So they encounter a little bit of magic too out there. So anyway, and to be honest, you know, in the first book, I did a lot of science fiction things, but as advanced as we are, I only kind of can, I'm not really a scientist on my Earth, so I only know so much, you know, and so I didn't want to just kind of have a retread of more science fiction ideas. So it was kind of fun to also go in a magical direction, you know, just kind of make things more interesting. So
let me just say,
there's only so much you can do with technology.
I've seen a lot of your books at the library, actually, because it's been out for a year, right? The Multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and it's with Random House, is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah, and actually, I want to mention, I mean, I love my illustrator. We've actually become friends. He's Alexei Bitskov, and he did a great job. He does these spot illustrations inside. You can, I don't know, it doesn't really show very well, but anyway. And yeah, he's done other middle grade books and other, you know, chapter books and that kind of thing. So, yeah. And anyway, yeah, it's been out for a year. And, oh yeah, I think I was mentioning this other version of me may have mentioned, I really like the job they did with the design, you know, it kind of stands out. So the orange turns out to be, I actually live in Austin, Texas, you know, and I get a little tired of and I live not too far from the stadium, the football stadium, because there's football in the future as well. And I get tired of orange, I'll be honest with you, but not on this book, because it kind of just stands out, you know, it's nice. The next one, you know, to be honest, this color printer didn't do such a great job. And I think this is going to be more of a bold purple, but you can't really tell.